Seeing the abandon Harris hashtags and all that stuff. Like, what is going on?
Hi lovelies, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stronad and here is Ballistic Gist. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the way MVP. So guys, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok. And I thought to share with you guys where TikTok is actually reacting to the fact that a new campaign has been launched which is said to abandon Harris, and this actually got a lot of people reacting. And I was able to put up some of those stitches. I'm just going to roll it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
Today we launch Abandon Harris. Abandon Harris. In the protests on the streets of Chicago, we now declare that the only option for people of conscience is to abandon Harris, to punish her and the party, so that they know that they can never put genocide on the ballot.
First, I want to say they were never with Harris. They never stood with Harris. Second, their target is Kamala Harris, the black woman. The black woman who is working on ceasefire negotiations. The target is not Donald Trump, who is trying to stop ceasefire negotiations. That should tell you everything that you need to know. They are a threat to black people. Don't get in my comment section telling me about a George Floyd mural over in Palestine. Don't get in my comment section and tell me that back in the day, Martin Luther King and all of our civil rights heroes were stomping in support of Palestine and they were stomping in support of us. I'm looking at what is happening today, currently. What I'm looking at today when it comes to this group of Palestinians is that they are a threat. They are threatening the livelihood of black people in the black community. They are threatening the lives and the livelihood of members of the LGBTQIA plus community. They are threatening the lives and the livelihood of their own community. That's what I see. They are a threat to our lives and our way of life here in the United States. I don't want to hear nothing about a mural of George Floyd over in Palestine. Clearly, that mural means nothing to them. And let's be clear. I want to make myself clear. This reaction that you're seeing is as a result of their actions, and that's on period.
So, I've been seeing the abandon Harris hashtags and all that stuff. Like, what is going on? Like, y'all do know that's not really smart, right? Which makes me kind of wonder, like, what is really going on? Because what needs to happen right now, what we need most is a ceasefire, right? So in this country, in our elections, you have two choices, right? I don't care if you don't like either choice. It is a binary choice. So it's either VP Harris or Trump, right? So by abandoning Harris, you are effectively supporting Trump. I don't care how you cut it. That's essentially what you're doing. And that's not what you want, because ultimately that man will give Netanyahu a blank check to do as he wishes. And then it'll be all for naught. Like, what is the point? I don't understand it. I feel like you're starting a movement, but isn't the point to save lives? Because a movement is not going to save no lives. Not this way, anyway. It makes no sense. It's not going to end well if Trump gets in office for the Palestinian people at all. I don't understand it. It's not effective. It's not strategic. It's not proactive, and it's just simply not smart. So you kind of got to weigh your options. I don't understand. It's just not smart. Like, what is the goal? Because the goal could not be to save Gaza. Because Trump is not going to do that for you. I can promise you that. Like, I don't, what is going on?
Now, I took that little clip from Tabitha's video. You should go to her account, follow her, and watch the full video. But I wanted to talk about this small movement of abandon fill in the blank. Because first of all, like Tabitha rightly points out, these people were never going to vote for Harris in the first place. This abandon Harris movement came out of the abandon Biden movement. The abandon Biden movement because so many people wanted to blame him for everything in Gaza. And even though Kamala Harris has not been involved in those things happening in Gaza, they're now shifting the blame to her because she's the candidate. Because the target demographic of those people pushing the abandon Biden and abandon Harris movements are the people on the far left who have no idea how the government works and just wanted to blame Biden for everything happening in Gaza. Those people are very susceptible to propaganda. One funny thing we should point out about the abandon Biden movement was started in the Muslim community in Michigan. And do you know who met with those Muslim leaders in order to start that abandon Biden movement? None other than ultra-MAGA Christian nationalist Trump-humping General Michael Flynn.
Known.
The guy who was involved in the coup on January 6th. The guy who wanted Donald Trump to invoke martial law so that he could hold on to the White House. So the whole abandon Biden movement, leading to the abandon Harris movement, was because of this asshole. And with a little critical thinking and common sense, you'll understand why. It's because they want to do everything they can to get the Muslim community to not vote for the Democrats. Because what does abandoning Harris mean? Why, if you abandon Harris and you don't vote for her, then Donald Trump gets elected. That's exactly what these people want. It's part of the concentrated campaign along with backing third-party losers like RFK and Jill Stein. And they are trying to make it so that the Democratic nominee does not make it to 270 either because they know Trump's not going to do it. And that way they will elect Trump in the House of Representatives. They know Trump cannot win the election on his own. He does not have the numbers. So they want to make sure that Kamala cannot reach 270 either. And they do this by seeking out gullible people and making them think that not voting for Harris will fix the entire problem in Gaza. Even though if you don't vote for Harris, you're just allowing the authoritarian who wants to level Gaza to the ground into the White House. Which seriously, after this many months, I don't see why we still have to explain this to you people. If you're sitting here claiming that you care about the people of Palestine, but you're also saying that you're going to abandon Kamala Harris, which will lead to Donald Trump getting elected and completely destroying Gaza, you've got some pretty fucked up priorities and cognitive dissonance that you need to work out. People like that guy in the video saying we need to abandon Harris to send a message and teach a lesson to the Democrats. How are you going to teach a lesson to Joe Biden or Kamala Harris by not electing them and handing the keys over to Donald Trump? The only people you're going to teach a lesson to or that you're going to punish are the people of Gaza. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will just go back to their comfy lives. The only people you're punishing are the Palestinians. And this small, pathetic group tries to prey on people by claiming they have the moral high ground by saying we need to teach a lesson to the Democrats for what's happening in Gaza, which the Prime Minister of Israel is actually responsible for. Their great, brilliant idea is to take away power from the people who are actually trying to implement a ceasefire, a two-state solution, and stop the war, and hand the power over to Donald Trump, who said he would give Netanyahu anything he needs to finish the job. He wants all of the Palestinians wiped out so that he can turn Gaza into beachfront resorts. So if you plan to abandon Harris and the Democrats, in the same way that in 2016, the people who voted for Bernie in the primary then voted for Trump in the general because they thought it would teach the Democrats a lesson, all it did was fuck over everyone else in the country, fuck over women, fuck over marginalized groups, and fuck over the Palestinians by giving us Donald Trump. And that's exactly what they're trying to get you to do again because they think you're that gullible and stupid. Before you start waving those abandoned Harris flags, you might as well just buy some Trump merch because you're basically voting for him.
So now pro-Palestinians are launching Abandon Harris because the uncommitted party wasn't able to say anything at the podium. And I was a little confused by that because I thought it was supposed to be a panel of people having discussions. I didn't know they were supposed to be speaking at the podium, but that's neither here. I was a little upset, but then I understood they're the uncommitted party. They could have said some shit up there that could have messed up Harris completely. And I know they've marched at Trump rallies, but they denigrate and they attack Kamala Harris more than they do anybody else. So it's safe to say if someone would have got on that podium Ain't no telling what would have came at their mouth. It would have gave Trump more ammunition, and it would have brought people's hope down. For y'all to start an all-out campaign to make sure Kamala Harris doesn't get into office is just stupid. Yep, stupid. Because you're giving Trump the office, which in return is going to give Benny all the money he needs to finish the job. Your home is about to become a resort. I hope every Muslim in America is ready to get their passports together, because black folks, we know we on the target list, but y'all about to be number one. And I'm speaking for myself. Don't look for me to speak for y'all if Trump gets in office. Don't look for me to fight for y'all. Don't look for me to make videos. Don't look for me to donate shit, because it's y'all fault. It's going to be all on y'all. Y'all want to make half of Americans suffer with y'all because y'all figure if we all suffer together, we'll move faster. That's not how shit works. You put black people on suffrage, you gonna feel that pain. And it ain't gonna be the pain of we shall overcome. We gonna turn our fucking heads. Because word on the street is Benny was told by Trump not to take the ceasefire deal. And yet y'all still attacking Kamala. Y'all become stupid. Stupid as hell. So y'all on your own. Anybody that supports me and follow me, if you want your safety in America and hope for Palestinians, you may want to think blue. Because standing in the middle is not going to get you anywhere. Y'all will definitely be on your own if Trump gets in office. Sorrows and prayers. So now,
like, seriously, lovely. So out of all the things that have been going on, concerning this upcoming and all of that, is for these people to actually launch a campaign, stating abandon Harris and all of that. That means, are they actually trying to tell people that if maybe, let's just assume that everything goes and Harris probably did not go through with the elections and maybe she ended up not becoming the president, then everything that has been happening or that is still happening in Pal and all of that will automatically come to an end. Or it will automatically come to a pause. So are they trying to tell the public that, Kamala is the reason why a lot of, the thing that have been going on girls, she's the reason why. So if she don't, ended up being the, everything will just come to an end and people of Gaza will actually be freed from what they are going through. Like, Harris is the reason why all of those things are happening. Like, seriously, this whole thing just started with the back and front and anti-blackness and all of that is going on, in the community and all of that, and shifted blames that black people are the reason why this thing have been going on, or because they are just thinking, not even decide, they are just thinking, what if we actually go for a lesser evil person or something in order not to actually put the other person in power? What if going for a lesser evil? So it was just a thought by an individual, and this got a lot of pal people talking and all of that. Now this campaign is just I don't even get it. Like, what is their motive behind it? So when they abandon her, that means automatically they want the other guy there, and when he's automatically there, every other thing that is happening will come to an end and everyone will be happy. Like, I don't get, sometimes people just reason, people just do something without actually thinking what is the repercussion, what people don't weigh the risk behind it, or they don't weigh the advantage and disadvantage of any decision they want to make before actually making such a decision or going through with the plans. Like, seriously, is this actually what should be on deck now? Is this like, the thing is that there's a video that I actually stitched on my other channel where the same Harris was, calling out for a ceasefire and all of that. A lot of people are expecting so many things from her, even if she is a VP, and I know, but just that this thing has gone to the extent at which it needs someone, or it needs people to actually think through before any decision, because it's all of these things are just so delicate now. The situation is just so delicate. Like voting or not voting, you think that, you know, these people will not also want to have, or you think that these people will not have a president at the end of the day? Like, just think it through. Seriously, nobody is saying that no, this one is perfect.
I took that little clip from Tabitha's video. You should go to her account, follow her, and watch the full video. But I wanted to talk about this small movement of abandon fill in the blank. Because first of all, like Tabitha rightly points out, these people were never going to vote for Harris in the first place. This abandon Harris movement came out of the abandon Biden movement. The abandoned Biden movement because so many people wanted to blame him for everything in Gaza. And even though Kamala Harris has not been involved in those things happening in Gaza, they're now shifting the blame to her because she's the candidate. Because the target demographic of those people pushing the abandoned Biden and abandoned Harris movements are the people on the far left who have no idea how the government works and just wanted to blame Biden for everything happening in Gaza. Those people are very susceptible to propaganda. One funny thing we should point out about the abandoned Biden movement was started in the Muslim community in Michigan. And do you know who met with those Muslim leaders in order to start that abandoned Biden movement? None other than ultra-mega Christian nationalist Trump-humping General Michael Flynn. The guy who was involved in the coup on January 6th. The guy who wanted Donald Trump to invoke martial law so that he could hold on to the White House. So the whole abandoned Biden movement, leading to the abandoned Harris movement, was because of this asshole. And with a little critical thinking and common sense, you'll understand why. It's because they want to do everything they can to get the Muslim community to not vote for the Democrats. Because what does abandoning Harris mean? Why, if you abandon Harris and you don't vote for her, then Donald Trump gets elected. That's exactly what these people want. It's part of the concentrated campaign, along with backing third-party losers like RFK and Jill Stein. And they are trying to make it so that the Democratic nominee does not make it to 270 either, because they know Trump's not going to do it. And that way, they will elect Trump in the House of Representatives. They know Trump cannot win the election on his own. He does not have the numbers. So they want to make sure that Kamala cannot reach 270 either. And they do this by seeking out gullible people and making them think that not voting for Harris will fix the entire problem in Gaza. Even though if you don't vote for Harris, you're just allowing the authoritarian who wants to level Gaza to the ground into the White House. Which seriously, after this...